turning. Back we go. What's up team? Welcome to this week's video, and in this week's video, the first official half century. Now I have done a half century before, 50 miles, but it was with an old cycling club. I didn't know I was going to do the 50 miles, I didn't take enough food or enough water, so therefore my first kind of half century was pretty horrendous. But this weekend, I actually didn't know we were going to do 50 miles either until I met up with Russ, as you'll see in the video. But I took enough food and I kind of assumed we might do over 50 miles this weekend because we'd kind of been building up to it. Now it's actually the day after the 50 miles. I feel fairly fresh, don't feel too sore. You'll watch the video, you'll see me hit the 50 miles and then we'll come back here and I'll give you some tips and things that I learned after yesterday's 50 miler if you're looking to do your first 50 miles as well. So without further ado, let's watch the video and then we'll come back here and go through some tips. I can't tell you how excited I am to ride my bike today. The weather, as I said, the weather in the UK has just been like ridiculous over the past 2 weeks. Even though it's the end of May, I remember this time last year, kind of at the start, I guess, of lockdown, the weather was absolutely amazing here, and you could just, you know, do exactly what you wanted. It was shorts and t-shirt weather, sort of well at the start of May last year. But for some reason this year, seems to have been all those April showers that we missed in April have kind of come at the end of May, so super looking forward to getting out on the bike today. Right, let's head out and go meet Russ.
What do you fancy, 46 or 50?
Oh, well, I'll put 50 in, we'll see. 50 miles, you heard it first. Well, the sun's trying to peep its head out, managing a little bit. Hopefully gets better as we go. We've got shorts and a long sleeve deal. Fingers crossed by next weekend it'll be short sleeves and shorts. I'm going to be going up to about 17 degrees I think next week. But yeah, this marks the final kind of ride of my 3-week training block. I actually have done like an 8-week training block without realising. I usually do 3 weeks on, 1 week off, but for some reason, since I got my new watt bike, just kind of been smashing it for the last 8 weeks, trying to get some decent training, and I haven't trained on the bike consistently for a while, just because of the weather and the winter, and me not having an indoor trainer or anything. So having the watt bike, I've just kind of been smashing it over the past couple of weeks. But yeah, really looking forward to a lower intensity week. Still be getting the volume in, still riding 4 times a week, running twice a week, but just at a lower intensity, nice and steady next week, help the legs recover. Nice steady ride today. Trying to stay zone, oh dog, trying to stay in zone 2 throughout the whole ride, just nice and steady. Get some miles in the legs as you saw before, hopefully. Racking up about 50 miles, probably only the second ride I've ever done hitting 50 miles. How embarrassing is it to be overtaken by a commuter bike?
On a scale of 1 to 10, 10.
A 10. So how long since you've done 50 miles?
Oh, teenage years, and I'm an old giffer now.
A little while ago.
But yeah, it's nice to get out and blow the cobwebs away, and especially on a day like this.
I know. It is nice.
Perfect.
So this is the road Russ got us lost on last week. But this week we know where we're going, and we've got the route in the Garmin.
Hopefully no cock-ups this week. You know, we're heading out towards... Now, which way round is it? Is it Dishforth or Tockwich? I can never remember which one it is. Both old aerodromes. I've been go-karting on one of them, and I did a parachute jump on the other. And now you're cycling towards it, and they've done everything. Usually on these roads in my 2-seater sports car with the roof down. Slight difference in power.
So we're about an hour in now. We've done about 17 and a half miles, so bombing along quite nicely. We're used to quite hilly roads, so we've chosen a flat route for today. Hopefully means a bit quicker and go a bit further. I do also need a wee already. It always happens. About 22 miles down. Doing well so far. 22 miles in an hour and 17, so pretty good average pace. Little stop for a bit of food or liquid, whatever this is. Time for a wee as well. If you got any tips on how to not want to go to the toilet on a ride, do pop them down below in the comments. Over halfway now, and now we're generally on the way home. The wind is getting pretty tasty. Didn't think we had a tailwind on the way, but I think we did. Enjoying the wind?
I was just thinking, halfway we could turn back.
I know.
And have it to our backs, but what the hell?
I missed the turn in. Back we go. That's a motorway. Fingers crossed we don't have to cross it. Too busy trying to film. Pretty near a little airport where they set off gliders and kind of see them flying around everywhere and the plane towing them about. Well, we made it over the motorway and now it's bloody windy. So, just hit the around about 2 hour mark, done about 34 miles so far, so making good pace. 1 banana and 2 gels in. But yeah, bombing along nicely, although I think we did realise we had a bit of a tailwind on the way here. So we've now got a cheeky headwind on the way back. Just what you want. Lovely. Classic weather. Wasn't meant to rain all day, and don't know if you can tell, but it is raining. Just going through Tadcaster now. Hit about nearly 40 miles, so on the home stretch, getting wet. Well, we're back on our normal roads now, the roads we know. Well and truly nearly home. About 8 miles to go, so maybe not nearly, but pretty close. Nearly just got caught by a family and a dog while going for the final wee of the ride. How are we feeling?
I can feel my lactic acid in my legs. But I'm feeling good. We've got what, about 8 miles if that? Probably?
Yeah, about 8 miles to go. No more wheeze. And that's it, 2 stops. Stopped twice, but yeah, other than that, it's been on the go. So that's the trouble when you work a 9 to 5 during the week, is almost sort of double my weekly time on the bike when I get out for a long ride at the weekend. So I think I managed to get in sort of 3 1-hour rides during the week, also 2 runs, but 3 rides during the week, about an hour in length, doing some intervals. And then today I'll probably hit, well, in about 3 hours now, I've just doubled my time on the bike for the week. But hey, it's always beneficial to get a really long ride in at the weekend if you can. Really will help boost your fitness. Do click, I think, top right, and I've recorded a video the other week of why riding long at the weekend is so beneficial, so do watch that if you haven't already. But yeah, really great to get out on a really long one today. We're almost there, first ever official half century, about 2 miles to go. See you at home. That is it. First official 50 miler done, and look at those bloody rain clouds. Crazy. And we stopped just in time. You can't even see me, it's that dark. Scores on the doors are 51 0.7 miles. We did it in 3 hours and 13, that's moving time, a little bit longer because we had 2 quick stops because I needed a wee. We did about 2,364 feet of climbing, so not too flat, pretty flat though compared to our normal hilly routes in Yorkshire, and an average speed of 16.1, so we weren't hanging around either, so pretty pleased with that. Had about 1 banana and 4 gels and, I don't know, 1.5 litres of water. There you have it, 50 miles completed, and as I said before, it is now the day afterwards, so I thought, having reflected on the half century, the 50 miles, I'd give you a couple of tips if you're looking to complete your first half century as well. And tip number 1, I think, is just take enough food. It doesn't matter your level of fitness really, as long as you're going at a nice steady pace, as long as you have enough food, enough fuel, then you'll be able to manage it. So after the first hour, which was kind of fueled by my big porridge oats breakfast, I was just having some carbs, so gels or bananas, every 20 minutes, and I just continued that throughout the duration of the ride over the 3 and a bit hours we were out, and that fueled me nicely. So don't worry too much about your level of fitness, as long as you take enough food and you're going at a nice steady pace. Tip number 2 is to pick a flat route. I think we did around 2,500 feet of climbing, which, we live in Yorkshire, isn't actually that much in terms of climbing compared to the routes we usually do. We usually do more climbing than that, over even half that distance. So pick a fairly flat route. If you're going for a first half century, the aim is to do a half century, not to climb, you know, the height of Everest. So try and pick a flat route. Make it as easy as possible for yourself, and yeah, just make sure you'll kind of get around the whole half century. Tip number 3 is try not to stop too many times. We stopped, I think, a grand total of 2 times, mainly because I needed a wee, just to get a bit of food on board as well, although I did have gels on the go and things as well, just on the bike. But I found, you know, if you do keep stopping, it's hard mentally just to get yourself back going, get back on the bike again, and get yourself round. And my final tip, I think, would be to pick roads, or at least some of the roads that you've done before. If you go too far out, so yesterday when we kind of got to 25-30 miles, we'd never done those roads before, which can be quite daunting if you're kind of going fairly far away from home and you haven't been that far before, you know, if you get a puncture, how you're going to get back, etc. But when we kind of hit 35-40 miles, we were back on roads we knew, which kind of gave us that mental boost to go the final 10 just to get us back home. So if it is your first half century and 50k, I would say, you know, go, you know, venture out by all means, but make sure you do, towards the end of the ride at least, go around some of the roads that you do know. It gives you that mental boost, that you know, knowing you're not too far from home towards the end of the ride. So there you have it, first official 50 miles done, half century. The next, I think, is probably 100k, which is around 62 miles, I think, and we decided that we definitely have a cafe stop included in that, get some cake on board at some point throughout the ride. So yeah, do stay tuned for that video, but hopefully you enjoyed today's video. Hopefully if you are looking to do your own first half century, this is giving you an insight and giving you some tips. Let me know down in the comments below. I know for a lot of people half century isn't too far. 50 miles, you know, is a walk in the park and an every weekend occurrence. So do let me know if you do further distances than that. Let me know down in the comments below what tips you have to kind of get around safely and having enough food on board. Do let us know down in the comments. Looking forward to reading those. But yeah, have a good rest of the week. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.